A very good evening. You're joining in with Prime TV News and I'm Tharkan Kulatunga. Let's take a look at today's top stories first. Strong winds with heavy showers to continue. Bus fares will be slashed from midnight tomorrow. The IGP says he will act on the orders of the President himself. Cabinet approves a project to renovate rural tanks. In headlines overseas, Democrats secure majority seats in the midterm election. Moving on with news in detail. First on local news, the Met Department says under the influence of the low pressure system in the vicinity of Sri Lanka, prevailing showery and cloudy condition over the northern, north central and eastern provinces and surrounding sea areas is likely to continue. General public, naval and fishing communities are requested to be attentive about advisories issued by the Department of Meteorology in this regard. Fairly cold weather can be expected in the northern, north central and eastern provinces. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the northern, eastern, north central, northwestern, central and over provinces, and heavy falls of about 100 millimeters can be expected at some places. Showers or thunder showers will occur elsewhere, particularly after 2 p.m. Misty conditions may occur at some places in the western, central and Sabaragamuwa provinces during the morning. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. General public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activity. Bus associations say that they will reduce bus fares by 2% from midnight tomorrow. No difference will be made for the minimum fare. This decision has been taken at a special discussion held between the private bus associations and the National Transport Commission. Sarath Vijitakumara, Chairman, Inter-Provincial Private Bus Association, said that the decision was taken to support the President and the Prime Minister. He added that they expect betterment for their industry under the present administration. Kamanu Vijayaratna, Chairman, Lanka Private Bus Owners Association, stated that they are ready to cut the bus fare as fuel price has been slashed. Ruben Silva, Chairman, All Island Private Bus Company Federation, stated that there was a common complaint that no reduction of bus fare is made with the revision of fuel price. Hence, they agreed to reduce the bus fare. IGP Pujit Jayasundara states that the Sri Lankan police is acting on the orders of President Maithripala Sirisena as he is the country's executive president and Minister of Law and Order. The IGP said that a group of former ministers had arrived at the police headquarters yesterday and made some requests. He added that it is not possible to comply with such requests. The IGP pointed out that the Prime Minister has been appointed by the President by an extraordinary gazette. Several parliamentarians had come to meet the IGP with a letter from Ranjit Madduma Bandara and had requested security for the MPs. The IGP added that the President is the Minister of the Law and Order. Hence, police will work in accordance with the orders given by the President. The Cabinet Ministers has granted its approval to repair abandoned rural tanks. In accordance with the Agricultural Department's Minor Irrigations and Primary Water Sources database, it has been identified that there are 14,421 tanks in operation and 1,958 tanks are abandoned under the ground, such as internal conflict and spreading infectious diseases. By repairing these tanks, it is expected to cultivate 97,000 acres of new arable lands. Considering the utilization of these tanks to nourish groundwater sources, afforestation of present barren lands and the benefits gained by wild animals, the Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal presented by Mahinda Amaravira, Minister of Agriculture, to repair the tanks which are technically recommended. The Cabinet has also granted approval to a project that improves facilities in the schools of agriculture in Sri Lanka. 5 schools of agriculture, Kundasale, Palvehera, Angunukola Palace, Karapincha and Vaunia will be given a facelift and will be introduced with modern technology in agriculture to attract young generations to the field of agriculture. The Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal presented by Mahinda Amaravira, Minister of Agriculture, to enhance the quality and quantity of agricultural products in the country, with the assistance of the Ministry of Skills Development and Vocational Training, by expanding the number of students recruited to these schools and imparting them cutting-edge knowledge. Implementation of an expedited agriculture development program, Krushi Navodaya in North East, has been approved by the Cabinet. Addressing challenges such as less productivity, lack of seeds, land use issues, climate changes, post-crop management inabilities, marketing and value addition difficulties, water supply issues, tank reconstruction and agricultural road issues, lack of infrastructure facilities, and shortage of officers engaged in the field of agriculture has been identified as an essential factor in increasing the agricultural harvest in the northern and eastern provinces. The Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to a crop forecasting information system that aims to mitigate food crop surpluses and shortages. The Department of Agriculture issues crop forecasting reports which indicate information on condition of the crops cultivated all over the island, crop damages and harvesting. These reports can be considered as the reliable data source to take timely decisions, including the importation of food crops. The database is already functioning and a computer application called Crop Forecasting Information System is being used for that. State Minister Piyasena Gamage and Cabinet Minister Dinesh Gunawardena commenced their duties today.
Piyasena Gamage assumed duties as the State Minister of Youth, Women and Child Affairs at his ministry at Setsiripaya, Battaramulla amidst all religious blessings. President Maithripala Sirisena and several ministers also participated in the event. Manula Pereira received his appointment letter as the chairman of the National Youth Services Council from the President. Addressing the gathering, State Minister Piyasena Gamage said that the reunion of President and Prime Minister was coveted by the general public. He pointed out that two outstanding leaders will be able to protect and develop the country for the betterment of the people. Meanwhile, Minister of Megapolis and Western Development Dinesh Gunawardena commenced his duties at his ministry in Suhurupaya. Commencement of work happened in the midst of religious blessings. Ministers, members of parliament and several other distinguished people attended the event. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that he is committed to meet the expectations of the general public. He added that the Western province will undergo a huge transformation in the near future. He stated that he will work collaboratively with the heads of the local government bodies and grant them back some powers that were taken away from them during the previous administration.
Commonwealth Secretary-General Patricia Scotland says the Commonwealth Association is always ready to assist Sri Lankan government and its people.
Commonwealth Secretary-General Patricia Scotland expressed her views on the decision taken by President Maithripala Sirisena to reconvene the Parliament on the 14th of this month. Scotland has also said that the dialogue between politicians and the public in the island nation should further continue to safeguard the rule of law and the Constitution. Meanwhile, former Deputy Speaker of the House of Commons of Britain and Conservative politician Lord Nesby states that the international community should not meddle into the internal affairs of countries when a head of a state has made a decision in accordance with the constitution of the respective country. He made this statement addressing the British Parliament.
As far as I can see, there's nothing unconstitutional. Every country has its constitution. I see nothing that's happened that is unconstitutional. It's unusual, yes, but we've had unusual things in the UK. We were supposed to have a fixed-term parliament, 5 years fixed, but we never got that far. It was cut short. So these things happen, these things change. And I'm sure those who are involved, particularly the President, who is elected, an executive, he will have acted in the interests of the country. Of that I'm quite sure. I've met him on a number of occasions. I think he's a very wise man, and I'm sure whatever action he's decided will have been in the interest of the country. And it's not for a foreigner to determine whether it's constitutional or unconstitutional. We as UK, people who take an interest in Sri Lanka, of course want to help Sri Lanka. But I've been very careful over my 50 years plus of never supporting any one party or doing any business. And I would suggest to my colleagues that they do exactly the same.
Head of the women's leg of the Tamil People's Liberation Party, Selvi Manoharan, says the Tamil parties of the country should support President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at this current situation. She expressed these views to media personnel in Batticaloa. She pointed out that there are about 51,000 widows in the war-affected areas in the eastern province itself. Selvi Manoharan explained that 34,000 widows are in the Batticaloa district alone, and the assistance of the new government is essential for their livelihood. She added that Tamil political leaders should make use of the situation for the betterment of the common people. Former Secretary General of Parliament Dhammika Kitulgoda states that when a certain person is appointed to the post of Prime Minister, it is the duty of the Speaker to arrange a seat for him in accordance with privileges granted for the said position. Former Secretary General of Parliament points out that currently there is only one Prime Minister in Sri Lanka. Accordingly, Mr. Kitulgoda points out that it is the responsibility of the Speaker to allocate the 8th seat from the Speaker's seat on the right-hand side of the House to Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. He revealed the facts, making a special statement to the ITN. The Speaker has the authority to allocate seats in Parliament. According to Mr. Kitulgoda, the allocation of these seats should be made in line with the accepted parliamentary tradition. Dhammika Kitulgoda emphasizes that the President has the sole power to prorogue the Parliament, but the Speaker does not have the right to summon Parliament since the House is prorogued. According to Mr. Kitulgoda, India is the country with the highest powers vested with the Speaker in the Commonwealth. He added that no Speaker has misused powers even in Britain, the oldest entity of the Commonwealth. Former DIG Nalaka De Silva, who was arrested by CID over VIP assassination allegations, has been further remanded till the 21st of November. The order was made when he was produced before 4th Magistrate Ranga Disanayaka. Nalaka De Silva is currently under investigation in connection with an alleged conspiracy to assassinate the President Maithripala Sirisena and former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Assistant Superintendent of Police Prasanna Alvi stated that the details of the plans of the assassination have been revealed. Accordingly, 47 police officers, including 2 DIGs, were inquired in connection with the incident. The Deputy Solicitor General informed the court that revealing certain details of the suspect who were in charge of the Terrorist Investigation Division was embarrassing. The suspect has purchased SIM cards and dongles using the names of the top-ranking police officers and maintained fake Facebook accounts. Statements from the suspect has been recorded for 48 hours in connection with the conspiracy. Government Information Department announced that Dr. Charita Herath has been appointed as the Secretary to the State Minister of Mass Media and Digital Infrastructure. Dr. Charita Herath formerly served as the Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Mass Media and Information. Director General of Government Information Nalaka Kaluwava announced that the appointment was made by the Cabinet of Ministers. Dr. Charita Herath is a senior lecturer of the University of Peradeniya. UPFA parliamentarian Lasantha Alagiyawanna today dismissed rumours of a possible crossover rounded by UNP-aligned social media. In a statement posted on his Facebook page, Alagiyawanna says he is currently overseas attending to an important family matter. He added that he has dedicated his entire political career to strengthen the SLFP and the membership of the party. He pledged that he will continue to work with the SLFP and its leaders in the future for the betterment of the country. He assures the people of Siyanakorale of Gampaha, who he represents with the greatest dedication to the well-being of the country, especially at present juncture, will work collaboratively with President Maithripala Sirisena, the head of state and the head of the SLFP and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. He also requests fellow parliamentarians not to be misled by the UNP's false propaganda. An individual has been arrested by the police officers along with more than 2 kilograms of heroin.
Police spokesman SP Ruwan Gunasekara said the arrest was made last evening in Kilinochchi Police Division. The stock of heroin was detected inside the bag of the suspect when he was stopped and inspected by the police based on a tip-off received. The suspect is a 51-year-old Muslim person residing in Negombo. The suspect has been handed over the Negombo police station for further investigations and he is expected to be produced before the Negombo Magistrates Court today. The value of seized heroin is estimated to be worth over 25 million rupees. Police is conducting further investigations regarding the incident. Police spokesman SP Ruwan Gunasekara said that Sri Lanka police has seized more than 186 kilograms of heroin in the country. More than 4,500 kilograms of ganja and Kerala ganja have also been seized in the year.
Professor Vimal Disanayake is a leading scholar of Asian cinema and Asian communication theory. He has published a number of books on the subject, including Melodrama and Asian Cinema, New Chinese Cinema, Colonialism and Nationalism in Asian Cinema, and Indian Popular Cinema, with leading publishers in the Western world. He has been living in Hawaii for the past 4 decades. Professor Vimal Disanayake spoke to Prime News recently during his short stay in Sri Lanka.
And later, I was also made the director of cultural studies at the East-West Center. So I was both a researcher into communication theory and cinema and so on, but also I was a teacher dealing with Western models of literary criticism, cultural analysis and so on. Right. Well, in English, I have over 40 publications, and these have been published by the most prestigious academic presses in the world: Oxford, Cambridge, Duke, New York, Minnesota, and then Penguins and Routledge, in addition to about 150 research papers. The DLIT is given mostly to Lifetime's work, so I have, in recognition of the work that I have done in the fields of literature and creative writing and in cinema, I think I was awarded the DLIT.
Sri Lanka has won the first place in the 14th Asia Pacific International Water Rocket Championship, which was held in Singapore. CM A.K. Chandrasekhara, a student of the Kakirawa Central College who won the first place, was felicitated at the Arthur C. Clarke Centre. 6 students in Sri Lanka won the National Water Rocket Championship this year. The selected group of students participated in the 14th Asia Pacific International Rocket Competition in Singapore. Accordingly, CM A.K. Chandrasekhara won the first place, earning a great... And that is it on Prime News for tonight. Thank you for watching. For more updates, visit www.itnnews.lk. Good night.